Now I'll probably just pick a couple. All right. You know anything about these teams?
Yeah, so they have uniforms, Chucky. That's
We think.
we think.
they're all the same.
Oakland's in black, right? No, I know. Hopefully by now I know that at least.
Trip over this cord at some point.
That's true. Yeah.
There's an and sign there. I'm a nobody, so you don't have to say anything. I try to.
That's true, man.
We're about to test his actual soccer knowledge. It's the NISA 2020 Fall Tournament Championship live from just north of downtown Detroit, Michigan. The Michigan Stars looking to keep their unbeaten week going and punch their ticket to the semifinals. Goni Bental has done his part, notching 2 goals throughout the week. But watch out for this Oakland attack led by Matt Fondy. He's got other plans, and they'll be anxious to bounce back from a tough loss on Thursday night to Detroit. The first game of our doubleheader tonight between the Oakland Roots and the Michigan Stars from Keyworth Stadium. Well, how did they get here? Oakland and Michigan both opened things up this week on Monday with wins. Oakland stumbles on Thursday, a 2-1 loss to Detroit, while New Amsterdam plays to a draw with Michigan. Now, a lot could happen as today unfolds, as we welcome you inside the broadcast booth alongside the former MLS goalkeeper Andy Greenbaum. I'm Chucky Kemp. And Andy, like we said, a lot can happen, a lot of scenarios. The one thing that stands is a win for either team, and you're through to the semifinals.
Yeah, and I think you'll find during these types of games, the first 15 minutes is going to be key, and not a lot of rhythm tends to happen in those. A lot of direct play, feeling each other out. That's what's going to be interesting, is how these teams start.
Well, Oakland, an interesting lineup choices tonight. Fondy is out. Some of their top goal scorers are out tonight. What do you expect to see from them?
Well, and you said it, a must-win game to move on, and it's interesting. Maybe there's something we're not privy to in the locker room as far as maybe banged up, but I'm sure we'll see one of two, if not both of those players if needed.
Well, Jack McInerney is the other one that is not playing tonight alongside Matt Fondy, and that is a big-time goal scorer as well. Will we see them off the bench? We're not sure. Should be a fun one, though, as the Oakland Roots take on the Michigan Stars. Back at Keyworth Stadium, the NISA Fall Tournament Championship from Hamtramck, Michigan. And it's a big night, the final day for Group A, as we take a look at the Oakland Roots starters, brought to you by Gig Car Share. And like we said, there's no Jack McInerney, there's no Matt Fondy, so we've got to find some goals somewhere in there. Co-In Kim gets some of his first action, so we'll see what they do out of this formation.
Chucky, why did I even research? Why did I even watch? They just changed their entire lineup. I'm interested to see what they do in this game as far as, the way they've played through those two up top. What will they do to combat that tonight?
Well, the Michigan Stars lineup presented by HTC, Bental, Bernardo, the two up top, and they are dangerous. This is a really talented team and have gotten results in both their games. One win, one draw. They're looking for a win tonight. I've
really enjoyed watching the goalkeeper, but obviously Bental, who I'm told played for Baker University here locally, who I'm on staff with. I'm excited to watch that tall drink of water as well. So
he is very tall, 6'4", and he'll look to lead the Michigan Stars to a win over the Oakland Roots. The NISA Fall Tournament Championship on BN Sports, just north of Detroit, Michigan, as we get set for kickoff in game one of our doubleheader tonight. We wrap up Group A between the Oakland Roots and the Michigan Stars. A win for either side would see them through, guaranteed to the semifinals. As we look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Gig Car Share. Andy?
Well, yeah, I'm a goalkeeper. I'm always talking about keeping a clean sheet, but especially when it comes to set pieces and wide play, we know how big Michigan plays, and the players up top that we talked about, making sure that they don't have any free run or free headers in the box.
Michigan Stars keys to the match presented by HTC.
I mean, we joke a little bit, but yeah, they had 2 red cards in the previous match, right? But it is important in a game like this not to go down a man early and then impose their will. We know what kind of brand they like to play, and let's see if they can make that count, especially, like we said, with the 2 up top.
Michigan is a really big team, and we touched on it. Goni Bental, 6'4", just under 200 pounds. This is a guy who really made his presence felt the first couple games of this tournament in the middle, scoring on a couple headers. As we take a look a little bit more about him, he's the tallest outfield player in the league, former center back turned target man, so he knows how to play in the middle for sure. A couple headers, and that's the guy they're going to be looking for. Right, and as a former center back, you know exactly how a center back would play a striker like that. So it's interesting to see that, you know, that having that knowledge, how are you going to beat the opposing center back to the ball? Well, here we go. Should be an interesting matchup. These 2 teams sit at the top of Group A. Michigan with 4 points. Oakland Roots and Detroit City both with 3, and New Amsterdam with 1. But no one is out of this right now. Even New Amsterdam, with a win and some help, could get it done later tonight in our second match. We take a look at our referees. Carter Brochu, the head ref, and his group, they've had their hands full. They know this could be a physical contest. You mentioned the red cards given, so we'll see how these 2 teams kind of feel each other out in the beginning. This is a busy week. This is the 3rd match in about 6 days for these teams. That has to wear on you at some point, doesn't it? Right, and I think that's why you're seeing so many changes on Oakland's lineup. Maybe they feel like they can give some of their key players a rest while they get a result here and possibly move on. Oakland, 7 changes in that starting lineup, just 1 for Michigan. And those are since that second game. Neither team winning the second game. Michigan gets a draw. Oakland loses to Detroit 2-1. Throw in for the Roots early on. These 2 teams did not play in the shortened fall season, so how much, I guess, is it, even when you have played a team maybe in the last session, maybe in the last season, how much of it is just feeling them out these first 10, 15 minutes? Well, and not only feeling out the opposing team, but, you know, some of these players come in and out and only have a couple weeks, sometimes only, you know, a week with the new club. So they're figuring out how they fit into that identity as well. So it can be very challenging. Michigan along the outside. Long ball over the head of Bental. That might have been tipped, and that was interesting decision by the goalkeeper, Christian Herrera, to give up a corner. Yeah, he gets the timing of it. He gets the time of it wrong. You know, Christian spent some time with Sporting 2 or back then Swope Park Rangers, but you see, just misjudges it a little bit with that big frame of his, and possibly gets his finger on it, leading to this corner. This is where Michigan can be really dangerous. Oakland trying to get it clear, and looks like it'll go out for a goal kick. The referee might have been looking for a flag to go up on the far side as well. Yeah, and it's not just the first ball, it's knockdowns. You know, even with the size, just making sure that you're staying very wary of players after the second or after the initial ball gets played in, looking for those knockdowns, making sure you're clean, you know where everybody is. Seo-In Kim down the sideline, knocked away. Nice play by the defender, Devin Amu-Mensah. He's been impressive this week on that back line for Michigan. A lot of moving parts this week. You talk about a shortened fall season, then you kind of have a couple weeks off before the fall tournament championship started. Dangerous ball into the box. Leaks through, and it'll be a goal kick. No, it will be a corner. Corner given. Michigan in disagreement of that, but a dangerous position here as Oakland has their first corner of the game. You see both teams getting a little bit of success from wide areas, whipping the ball in, causing a little bit of havoc, leading to a couple of set pieces here. Whipped in at the near corner, and it's a goal. Seo-In Kim. Looked like an outside heel to the bottom left corner. He comes on and makes an instant impact in the 4th minute.
It's very interesting. He's had a couple opportunities on the ball early, playing underneath, and as we take a look at this replay, I mean, they're just playing really a zone across that 6, and no one picks up the run. And it's just too easy. That cannot happen right in front of the goalkeeper. You know, the goalkeeper can't let that ball drop in, but the marking there is just unforgiving right there.
I like the former goalkeeper's explanation of that.
Yeah, it's just, you know, to play a zone across the back, you have big bodies, you know, someone's got to take control of that, right? Someone has to put their name on it. No one does. It lands right in front of the goalkeeper. Maybe he thought that the initial player in front of him would head clear. Tough goal to give up, especially early. Like we said, the first 15 minutes are pivotal and tough uphill battle.
I know you're a big fan of Michigan's goalkeeper, Tatenda Mkaruva.
Yeah, I think he has really good distribution. I think he does a lot of things well, but in this case, something was missing.
Not quite enough on the pass. Kyle Newell able to send that out for an Oakland throw-in. Oakland with some purpose early in this game. Some nice organization from this group.
Well, and now it's easier for them. They've got a little bit of energy. They're settling in, and now Michigan is playing on the back foot.
Johannes Harish trying to make a play for Oakland. These are two teams that can score goals, though, and I highly doubt this game ends with a 1-0 final for Oakland, but certainly the start they wanted, because like we talked about a lot early on, they're arguably their top 2 goal scorers not playing.
Dream start for Oakland, and that possibly gives them the opportunity to rest, you know, those 2 strikers that we mentioned.
It's an Oakland club that has great support back home. They talked about that in a press conference this week, that they've been feeling the support from the Oakland faithful. Hard challenge and a foul called. It'll go against Oakland. Hard to tell who was in on that. Jordan Farrell, manager for the Oakland Roos, served as their top assistant coach last season. Previously the head coach of the Sacramento Republic's U17 and U19 academy teams, which is Sacramento, a team that's bound for the MLS. Manny Gonzalez gets a foot to that. A throw in for Michigan Stars on the near side. Sebastian Dupre. That time Herrera takes care of it.
Yeah, very important for Christian Herrera to patrol that back line, especially as now Michigan looks to press, and they're going to play even more direct. So every time he can clean things up at the back is a near giveaway here.
A little sloppy right there from Herrera, and Oakland saves him a little bit. Ball down the side. Nice fight there from Joseph Adu, one of Michigan's defenders. Seo-In Kim. What are we seeing early on? Michigan keeping their form in the back. Oakland, what are you seeing from them as far as a formation and attack goes?
Yeah, I think Oakland, you know, like I said, getting that first goal gives them a little bit of confidence. I don't think Michigan are pressing the matter. They're still sticking with their game plan for the most part. And has some pleas for a handball. Let's see what happens here.
We have a whistle. Appeals from both sides right now.
But we talked about just how important set pieces would be in this game and not to concede really from both sides.
Take a look at this potential handball.
Yeah, it's right here, though.
There.
That slap.
Yep.
It's a tough one, but certainly have a case.
And the call ends up. It looks like a free kick is given, but it's going to be on the outside of the box.
Well, we have the advantage of replay. I don't think they have that necessarily here, but can see the set piece being set up.
This is a dangerous spot. Manny Gonzalez leaves it low, in trouble, but cleared. Great job to clear that from Adu. A whistle anyway.
Well, and right when you see it's a left-footed player striking the ball, what you're looking to do is just frame the goal, because even if nobody touches it at that point, it's going to be difficult for the goalkeeper as we take another look. But the run over, so it's left-footed, and all he does is leave it there, and you can see just how dangerous that is if the pace of the ball doesn't get taken away.
And Karuva clears it. And an Oakland throw is the result near midfield. Things opening up again. Oakland's had some real space in the attacking half. Back through the middle. Right wing, Diego Casillas. Couldn't find anybody with the cross. Still some trouble. Adu has been a presence so far for Michigan on that back line. Michigan led by Alex Stremmel. He's hoping to make things easy tonight, get a win and move on and not have to worry about what happens in game number 2.
When there's that long distribution I was telling you about.
Oakland, nice job passing it around the back, and Michigan almost seems this long week of games might be starting to affect that high pressure that they like to play.
Yeah, I think they're trying to trap them in pockets, but in set opportunities. I don't think they've had many chances to press numbers forward, and because of that, Oakland's having a lot of success on the wings right now.
Stephen Yunshai, a name that Michigan will like to hear a lot of tonight if they want to have success. Really talented player on the attack for them in that midfield. Headed back in and cleared by Oakland. It's going to go all the way to Herrera. We'll let the clock tick a little bit until he has some pressure. Not much from Tomas Bernardo tonight, not much from Goni Bental so far for Michigan, but they've been on the defensive for most of this game so far through 12 minutes.
Right, we haven't seen them, you know, I think they're trying to play direct when they can, win second balls, but they haven't had many opportunities, and Oakland's had more of the game just like this.
Here's another one inside the box. Oh, what a strike, but right at Karuva.
Didn't I just say he has good distribution?
We'll chalk that one up to the broadcaster's curse right there.
That's right. But the idea was there. I think he looks long. He has some big targets up ahead, playing behind. He can hit that ball.
Nice ball down the sideline. Seo-In Kim looks for that near post. Karuva has it covered.
Just take a look. I mean, Michigan really not taking care of the ball all that well, and that's what leads to these opportunities. Easy save in the end, tough angle, but just that one ball direct into the feet, lay off and a shot. Just not taking care of the ball. Here's another turnover.
Oakland has been very organized early on. Really a lot like that opening game win that they enjoyed on Monday against New Amsterdam when they won 3-0. Had great attacking opportunities, a really open game from their standpoint. Great ball down the sideline. Cleared away by James Abraham, and Michigan trying to find some possession right now. Karuva clears it. A whistle, and it's a foul against Michigan, so a free kick to Oakland coming.
Yeah, and it's not like we see a ton of rhythm in possession from Michigan game in and game out, but really none in tonight, and I think that's really hurting their cause. I think they need to get the ball down a little bit, enjoy it for a little bit, and when they've given the ball away, they've got to make sure that they're actively defending as they go forward, because there are massive gaps for Oakland to take advantage.
Here's a chance for Michigan. Save, nice job by Herrera. Going down to his hip to make that save.
But that's their identity, right? Direct ball, take a half chance. Herrera's done well to start higher off his line. As you take another look, just a clip ball in here, late, onside, kind of does well with his body, but Herrera does well to start high, read the play, and he's there to make the save.
That was Steven Yunshai in on net. It'd be tough to beat Herrera from that angle. He's just such a big body, 6'7".
Well, and with the positioning, all he has to do is stay big, and the striker's going to hit him.
Nice job by Adu again, and he earns a foul and a free kick. There is the 6'7" Herrera. One mistake early cost him a corner, and we talked about how dangerous that is. Limit those set pieces for this Michigan Stars team, one of your keys for Oakland.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw a ton of corners early on both sides, actually, but really we know that, you know, these two teams can play direct at times, and especially Michigan with the big bodies. It'll be important now for Oakland not to give anything away silly.
Shalbad trying to lob it up to one of those big bodies for Michigan. They just got to play this back to Adu. Oakland Roots notched the opening goal in just the 4th minute. Seo-In Kim, a nice flick off a corner. That is the difference 17 minutes in. Middle of the field looking for some space. Oakland defensively has been really organized as well. That's a great save along the side for Yunshai. Now some space for Michigan, looking inside, nothing there. Maybe had better options down the wing. Seo-In Kim. His target was Johnny Rodriguez, who I think was offside and decided not to make the run.
Yeah, and Kim, that's a great look. I mean, if he bends that ball a little bit in behind the back line, that's what he was looking to do. Something could have been brewing there, but don't know if the striker felt like he was in an offside position.
Seo-In Kim from South Korea. If you're not familiar with NISA, this is a league that's very diverse. I mean, we've seen players from all over the world across this league, so a lot of international talent on display. Yunshai pressuring here. Back to Herrera, who bombs it toward midfield.
Yeah, and he had time. I don't know that he needed to hit that first time. Could have taken a touch and maybe picked out somebody in wide angle, but leads to direct, and now Michigan once again headed the other way.
There's that distribution you're talking about from Karuva. How about that ball down the right side?
And that's going to be a huge advantage for them. I mean, look at these half chances right there. just from that long distribution over the top.
When you're working with goalkeepers, what's the skill toughest to develop?
Oh man, I mean, I don't know a goalkeeper that I work with that can hit a ball like that, but I think, you know, I'm more technique focused, right? So, you know, just foundational stuff, set position, all that stuff, and these guys at this level have it. You know, they've been through it. They're little subtleties that, you know, kind of can take a goalkeeper from this level to the next. Little subtleties, but all these guys can do a lot of great things.
There's a delay. The referee determined it was a delay, and Jordan Farrell disagrees along with his players as well. Tatenda Mkaruva.
He's got a great story. I mean, I think on the previous broadcast, they touched on it a little bit about his sister kind of making phone calls for him, right? Yeah. Getting him here, and he's wanted to make the move to America as well. And I've been impressed. He's quick. You know, technically, he's not the most sound goalkeeper, but he is athletic, does a lot of great things, and we talk about that distribution. He can pill a ball.
20 caps for Zimbabwe. He's played in the First Division League in Zimbabwe and South Africa. Really good opportunity here for Michigan.
Really dangerous opportunity here, indirect. See how they play this. But you can see Oakland's got some rushers ready when this ball gets touched to come out. Very important, Christian Herrera sees the ball.
Tried to go under the wall and almost found a home for it. Kyle Newell with a great look at net there, just wide of the left post.
Yeah, these are so tough for a goalkeeper. You can see the gap he's looking through. You want to keep that gap, but as the ball moves, players change. That's when the rushers actually get in the way of his line of vision, and there's nothing you can do if that's on frame.
I was gonna say, as a goalkeeper, those are the ones that keep you up at night, aren't they? A few positive moments here for Michigan as they try to make their mark on this game. Oh, dangerous right here. Mkaruva maybe got a piece of it, but headed out of bounds by Johnny Rodriguez for a goal kick.
Yeah, I don't think his shoulder's hurting as bad as just the awkwardness of the entire play. Those happen from time to time, but we talk about the experience. Maybe some of these players not being used to playing with each other. This ball kind of holds up, so that's a tough header back. You've got to really start a little bit higher, and if you're going to commit to going for that ball, you got to go through him.
And really, in that situation, the goalie pretty much has that opportunity to do whatever they want in that moment.
Yeah, we can get away with a lot there, can't we? But yeah, you just see the ball kind of holds up for the center back. It's a tough ball to head back home, but if you're going to ask for it, you've got to start higher, reading that bounce.
Cleared away. Michigan regains possession. Devin Amu-Mensah over to Joseph Adu. Long ball down the middle of the field. They like those because they like their chances to win those balls. Seoin Kim hits the deck. Back down the side. Out for Yunshai. Just the left side of the box. Lobs it back corner. Too strong. Goal kick. Some opportunities for Michigan, though, as things start to open up.
Right, and it's not coming off the end of some beautiful soccer, right? It's coming off half chances, direct, giveaways, mistakes. I mean, I think Oakland can be a little bit more composed in their build-out. I think they're playing a little bit too direct at times.
Herrera to send this one away for Oakland, 23rd minute. Roots leading it 1-0. Group A wraps up tonight. Group B tomorrow. Nate Bucati and Jacob Peterson will have the call, and they'll finish the tournament. Semifinals start on Wednesday. The winner of this fall tournament championship will play the winner of the spring as well for a chance to play in the U.S. Open Cup. Here's Group A as it stands right now, and you can see Oakland would jump over Michigan with a win. Detroit and New Amsterdam play later. So point-wise, everyone could make it. Now, if Oakland wins this one, things are not good for New Amsterdam and almost not technically eliminated, but the goal differential would have to be pretty immense.
Yeah, you'd really have to push the game at that point. Yeah, so a lot to play for, a lot of time left as well. I'm sure, like you said, this game doesn't look to end 1-0. Watch, we just cursed it. Probably will. These are the direct balls in. Take a chance, win a header, and now they're in.
Steven Yunshai, really one of the more talented players in this tournament. Starting to get more touches on the ball and start to feel this match out a little bit, and that's exactly what Michigan likes to see.
Right, it's just that final ball. That final ball is missing. But you time one of those just right, put it right into the correct space. And Christian Herrera could see something very difficult in front of him.
Steven Yunshai spent some time in Holland in an academy. Came back for high school. He's been in Europe a couple times. Now back playing for his dad, who leads the Michigan Stars. Michigan won the Motown Derby to start this tournament on Monday over Detroit City. 2-0 win in that game.
Both off a wide play, doing what they do.
Oakland back in possession in the midfield. Long ball down the center. Looking for Seo-In Kim, and he's got it in on net. No one to stop him, and a nice recovery from Adu. Amu Mensah wanted something. Looked like Seo-In Kim was, everything was pretty clean right there. Adu makes a nice recovery.
He just couldn't get it to settle right in time. By the time the player had recovered, you know, it's a great block, but I was just about to say how Oakland had found a couple pockets and they were doing well to break lines, but then the first touch took them back into the pocket instead of playing direct. Then they play direct, Chucky, and get a great opportunity on goal, so glad I didn't say anything until now. But Oakland's happy to have them possess the ball here because they know what's coming. That's what's coming. Michigan really hasn't broken any lines, played through the midfield. So, like I said, Oakland happy to have them possess the ball at the back and waiting for that long ball.
Cetrus Deguy, as you just saw, throw in for Oakland. A lot of really talented players on display, these two teams. Some real firepower as Oakland has another opportunity. Things opening up on the near side. Casillas, Seo-In Kim, who's been all over the ball in this game. That's going to roll out for a corner. A great chance here for Oakland. This is where they scored earlier. Absolutely. On the opposite side.
Yeah, and it's a great switch of the ball, point of the attack, and an inside-out run from that man there, Kim. And a great look to get in behind with that service. Goes out for a corner.
Manny Gonzalez whips the corner in toward the backside, headed and just wide. Decent opportunity there.
Great service, though. It's really tough for a defender. You're standing still. You can't generate nearly as much momentum. So if that ball is served properly, which it was, the striker has such an advantage running onto that ball.
It's Manny Gonzalez who sent it in, the Fort Lauderdale, Florida native. Things can really open up, and we've seen that with Oakland a few times when they kind of get it in between the midfield. That's where Michigan has struggled to cut things off. Down the side, Steven Yunshai. You mentioned it, it's that final ball that's been lacking from Yunshai. Lobs this one in, and Herrera has it, but a little bit closer to his target that time.
Well, and that's what I talked about. Christian Herrera patrolling that space in behind his back line, making sure that he's in a spot where he can really protect that ball in, and he was there. He'll take that all day.
Andres Shalbad. Herrera awaits potentially another cross.
And you can see him at the corner of your screen just creeping up, ready to come take that ball. If it's anywhere hung up at the back post, he's got the size to really challenge any of the strikers.
Amu Mensah into the box. Header tipped up, and then a whistle comes. A foul called in the box on Goni Bental.
Yeah, just trying to get off his own header and take a chance, and kind of pushed off.
Michigan knows how important this one is. Both these teams do. I think the worst feeling would be sitting later watching that second match when you could have taken care of things on your own.
Well, and especially if it does end, the type of goal you give away here is going to keep you up at night.
Casillas lays it back to Mamba. Mamba from distance curls it in, and Mkaruva takes care of it.
Yeah, you can see the defenders being sucked in. Opens up this cutback. Great individual effort onto that left foot. And if I'm a striker, I'm taking a chance. There's been a couple bobbled balls there. You just have to take a chance, especially with the way that ball's dipping. You never know. If that rebound gets out too far ahead, you might have a half chance there.
Ariel Mumba from the Congo. Referee says play on.
Ooh. I'm gonna have to see that again. That was nice. I always appreciate a good nutmeg. That was perfect.
Oakland, another chance into the box. Really good chance here. Across, and Seo-In Kim was looking for a brace.
That's great in transition from Oakland, starting with that nutmeg. Then the ball over the top, and then great movement right here. Look at this. He looks him off. He sees him coming. That's perfect. And then he plays a great ball right after. And now you can see their numbers up. Oh, so dangerous right across the face. All you need is a touch there. Even a defender, if that ball's a little bit closer, facing the wrong way, can touch that into your own goal. Those are the toughest ones to defend right there.
Oakland content with taking their time as Daniel Navarro kind of waved off Christian Herrera.
Chucky, when I played, I always thought of games in quarters, right? So 15 minutes, and seeing out. The first 15 minutes we talked about, really important to earn the right to play. Feel the other team out, but make sure that you know, do what it takes not to give up a goal and find your identity in that game. Next 15 minutes, you know, I think both teams kind of settle in, and then the final 15 minutes, make sure you don't give up anything on your end. That was really important to me. Didn't happen as much as I would like, but.
And Karuva has an easy one there. You say that, but you spent 8 years in the MLS, so it happened more than most can make it happen.
I fooled a lot of people. It was 9, so you can see the. Obviously, some of these clubs were a little bit blind, but no, I had a great run. I can't complain.
And now you are
here with you, Chucky.
Molding the future
right.
of the United States goalkeepers.
Here locally in Kansas City, where we are.
doesn't have any air on it, and that's what Michigan wants. They've got those two big dogs inside, Tomas Bernardo and Goni Bental. Maybe a little nudge there. And now Oakland looking to break.
Yeah, you can see Oakland in no rush, right? I mean, we talk about seeing out this half, making sure at least it's 1-0 headed into the halftime whistle. If nothing else, maybe you get another one with an opportunistic chance as well.
There's Tomas Bernardo from Santiago, Chile. Has 1 goal in the tournament so far. Might need another one to send Michigan through to the semifinals. Cleared away, Devin Amu-Mensah controls it for Shalbad. Down the sideline, Steven Yunshai. Yunshai looking for options.
Well, and that's what you don't want. Even though the ball's bouncing, it's tough and it goes out of bounds. You want to wall off that side, keep play predictable. And you can see the player didn't angle himself enough to deny that switching ball, but it's the right idea if you're Michigan. Otherwise, play becomes predictable. At the back, you see what's coming pretty easily.
If things are as they stand in 10 minutes, how much does the Michigan game plan change at halftime?
I don't think it changes all that much. I think they start pressing a little bit more, which could lead to some counterattack opportunities, but I think they have their identity. They're going to win or lose off, playing direct and winning second chances. They'll just commit more bodies forward. Possibly make some changes. Maybe they've got a 7-footer on the bench we don't know about.
They definitely have the size advantage in most games they play. Now on the flip side of that, this ball kind of leaks over the top there and all the way to Herrera.
Some choice words there, right?
Apologize for anything leaking through.
When all this stuff happened, right, the pandemic and everything, it's the one thing when sports returned I was actually really excited about.
Yeah.
No fans, you can hear what's going on. For me as a former player, that's what I love to hear. I love to hear the interaction. I think I feed off that a little bit more. Crowd noise is great, don't get me wrong. It really gets you going, but I love to hear the players.
Yep. I think for a lot of the us normal people,
right,
not former professional athletes like yourself, I think it's even more interesting, and given the opportunity, because a lot of broadcasts now are funneling the crowd noise in. I prefer to hear it without too. I want to know what's going on. I like to hear them communicating.
You may hear a few things you don't want your kids to hear at home, but for me, it doesn't get any better.
I think of all sports at the professional level, communication's so key, but maybe none more important than on this field right here.
Well, and especially if you're a young player at home, I mean, there's so many kids that really need to learn how to communicate, and hopefully not in some of the ways you hear, but it's really good to hear, especially for a goalkeeper, that line of communication.
Too far for Seo-In Kim, who I think, as it stands, would be the man of the match. He's been really impressive early on. Has been all over the ball. I've
been really impressed watching him play. Very busy. Early on, he was kind of really busy in the midfield, breaking lines, and then obviously serving some really good balls, teasing balls in behind the back line as well. And also scoring a goal.
Yeah, he's got the one goal. Almost had a second one on a cross from Manny Gonzalez.
And those are the types of balls that Christian Herrera is going to deal with in that back line 100 times today. All it takes is one to get wrong, miscommunication, mistiming, but most of them are easy pickings, just like that. And you just got to keep the ball in bounds.
Yeah, not the best there from Herrera. It'll be a throw for Michigan with 7 minutes to play here in this first half.
He's had a couple that he's knocked out of bounds instead of finding a body, not like he's intending to or anything like that, but
trying to cut inside, and free kick given. Go against Andres Chalbad. Venezuela. Spent some time at Parkland College, then Central Methodist.
Just hear the intensity, and once again, you're not going to see Oakland rush to take this. 7 minutes left in the half plus injury time. They're going to look to take advantage of these opportunities with as much time off the clock as they can.
That's Gonzalez and Johannes Harish. And it's Harish. Tough spot there. Nice job by Mkarova.
Yeah, very aggressive there. All you need to do is alter the play. He does a great job. He's on the front foot, adjusts to the flight of the ball.
Well, you touched on it when we had the goal earlier, but not a whole lot. He could have been a little bit more aggressive, but you talked about they were kind of in a zone almost on that line.
Right.
No one stepped to it.
Yeah, no communication. No one sees him coming over the shoulder. You got to see that run coming. I mean, that you look back at that goal the next day especially and watch that thing 100 times. It doesn't get any better.
Still a couple goal scorers sitting on the bench right now for Oakland as they have another opportunity. Lays it back, trying to go all the way over to the left side. This will be cleared and collected.
Nothing happens, but I mean, it's really great movement there by Oakland. Just moving the ball quickly. A little bit of urgency and possession. Good switch to the ball, but obviously the touch takes him a little far, and here's another foul.
Adu taken down after he tries to carry it through the midfield. He's been impressive early on.
So he just gets ahead of him, and then yeah, I don't know at this point in my life if I'm getting up from even a minor challenge like that, Chucky, but
Kyle Irwin on the challenge. That'll go out for a goal kick. Oakland will be pleased with how the first half has gone so far. Casillas into the middle.
well, now they just have to see it out. Best way to do that, possession. They've gotten a hold of the ball on the front line, done well with it. But you can see just coach wants to see a little bit of calmness, a little bit of composure.
Fitness definitely a concern with the third game in a week. We talked about Fondy and McInerney, the two big goal scorers on the bench. They have the lead, but it's been an open game. They've had opportunities. Do you make a change like that? Could we possibly see them in the second half?
I don't necessarily think you have to see one of those guys subbed in, depending on, 1-0. Maybe if you have a frontline player that needs a rest, and you want one of those guys like Fondy who works really hard to try and see out the game for you, you might see a player like that. Jack Mack's more of a opportunistic player. He'll pick his moments to really high press and defend, but he's not that type of player in my mind that you'd bring on. I think it'd be Fondy instead, but he's got a lot of experience as well.
Referee decides he was playing the advantage, decides to go ahead and hold things up and give a free kick as we get a look at Matt Fondy and Jack McInerney. A lot of experience right there, and these two throughout the week have been crucial. 3 goals between them, a couple assists, some key passes. They featured in both the first 2 matches, which resulted in a win and then a 2-1 loss on Thursday to Detroit.
And I think Jack Mack should have at least one more goal to his credit after he kind of picked off a lazy pass and went to goal, rounded the goalkeeper, but missed the frame.
McInerney, a guy that has been around the block. As Oakland looks to see out this 1-0 score
Well, I don't know why he doesn't just let it go out of bounds for a goal kick there. And there's been a couple kind of in-between moments dealing with balls over the top.
The referee just let it go. Both players kind of collided after the ball had been played, and the referee says play on. Minute to play in this first half. As it stands, Oakland would be the first team through to the semifinal round, and that goes for both groups. Group B finishes tomorrow, but it's the same exact situation with everyone still has a chance. No one has punched their ticket to the final day, which shows you how competitive this league is.
Well, and anytime there's something to play for, a trophy, these players are competitive. I mean, whether you're with the squad a week, 2 weeks, or 6 years, you want to bring home a trophy if there's something to play for.
Casillas over the top on Yunshai, wins it. Cleared down that right side. 2 minutes of stoppage time presented by Queen Co. Oakland will certainly take their time. They'll be happy to go to half with a 1-0 lead and an impressive performance from them.
Yeah, they've had some really good moments. You know, and there's been some moments for Michigan as well. We know what they like to do, and they'll continue here, but at the end of the day, taking care of the ball and that final pass it'd be massive for them. You can see, once again, that final pass just missing.
Mental looking for Tomas Bernardo, and not quite on the same page right there. See what changes in the second half, but so far a really interesting game, a great watch. It's an open game, quite a few chances specifically for Oakland on the goal scoring front, and we talked about keeping set pieces low for Michigan, but it was the Roots who notched the corner kick goal for the lead right now.
Yeah, I think both teams can feast off those opportunistic moments, and Oakland first to do it doesn't mean it won't happen for Michigan the way they play. You have to be on key for 90 minutes to play against a team like Michigan at the back.
Free kick for Oakland as the last few seconds tick away in this first half. Was a 4th minute corner kick goal for Seo-In Kim, as we have our whistle to signal the end of the first half, where the Oakland Roots have a 1-0 lead. There is your star to this point, the South Korean Seo-In Kim, a 4th minute goal off a corner, just a little side heel into the bottom left corner to give the Oakland Roots a 1-0 lead over the Michigan Stars. It is the final night for Group A here in Detroit.
Back in Detroit, the NISA Fall Tournament Championship. Tonight's halftime is presented by Gig Car Share. It is 1-0. The Oakland Roots lead the Michigan Stars. And it was a high-flying, open first half. As we welcome you inside the broadcast booth, Andy Greenebaum, I'm Chucky Kempf. Oakland off to a 1-0 start. Sioen Kim was really impressive. What did you like about them as a whole?
Well, I thought they valued the ball a little bit more, and I think that was massive. They're finding the ball in a little bit more dangerous pockets instead of playing direct every time, and I thought they did a great job in some combination. But really, just that goal, I mean, unforgivable. If you look back at it as a coach, it'll drive you crazy.
Michigan trying to find the big guys in the middle, but that final ball hasn't been perfect. What do they have to do better?
If I'm coaching this team, I want someone who can play underneath, right? So I'm looking at, okay, we've stretched them a number of times now. They're expecting a long ball. Can we play to feet? Can we break some lines on the ground instead? And then maybe you mix it up a little bit more, or you could keep doing the same thing and get a lucky bounce here or there, or something happens. It's happened for them many times.
Their playmaker, Steven Yenshai, has had a few opportunities. They'll look to get him some more in the second half. Michigan trailing Oakland 1-0 at halftime. A spot in the semifinals is on the line.
Back at Keyworth Stadium and Hamtramck Hamtramck, Michigan, as we look at our Group A standings entering tonight's match. This is how we stand as it is right now. Michigan came in leading. Obviously, Oakland with the lead would jump them and secure a spot in the semifinal. Detroit, New Amsterdam coming up next. Anybody can make it right now.
Anybody can make it, and I think we're going to see a high-intensity push here in the second half as Michigan looks to chase this game.
New Amsterdam even down there with that 1 point, and even in Group B, it's the same situation. 4 points, 3-3-1. Anyone can make it on that side as well. These are our Group A scores and schedules. We've had some parity. Michigan beats Detroit. Detroit turns around and beats Oakland, and now Oakland is beating Michigan. On the other side, New Amsterdam, the one loss, the draw with Michigan, and then they finish up tonight against Detroit City. We will have that game as well about an hour after tonight's conclusion. Michigan Stars trailing the Oakland Roots 1-0 at halftime. We'll be back with highlights and stats from the first half in just a moment. The NISA Fall Tournament Championship on BN Sports Extra. Our halftime stats presented by Gig Car Share. Oakland Roots leading at 1-0. 8 shots, 5 of them on net, a couple corners. One of them produced that goal. Michigan Stars 4 shots, 3 of them on net. Nothing too dangerous except for their free kick right at the top of the box right here.
And it's a player in behind the wall that I love. He just lays down. If it goes to the near, I think that's brilliant. I didn't see that initially. Watch him look. Shot comes, he's laying down. Like stacking the pads like a hockey goaltender. That's awesome. And then here's the goal. Chucky, like, I think that the front defender, right, just kind of I don't know if he thinks it's the goalkeeper's ball or he just misjudges it, but all three of those players marking the same space. You'd think one would be a little bit deeper, but terrible goal to give up.
Seoin Kim, the goal scorer. Are you a fan of that zone marking kind of? You don't see that a ton.
You know, if you have ball winners, okay, put three of them. I don't know why all three of those players were stacked at the near post past the post, though, right? Past the post. That's what's confusing to me. So I think maybe some miscommunication or maybe they don't work enough on set pieces on the training grounds. I'm not really sure which.
Well, that'd be a good time to point out the impact that COVID-19's had on sports all over. But this is a league that came back with a shortened fall schedule into the tournament. I'm sure you've talked to guys in the MLS and been around a lot of guys who I have to think it's been a difficult training to try and get up. The MLS did their MLS's back tournament. Now they're in kind of a shortened regular season. I have to think things have been a little tougher.
Right. I mean, it definitely has. But on the same token, it's, you know, set pieces are sometimes the last thing that is really worked on and perfected, right? And you can see it right there. You try and get everything into the, you know, you try and check every box, Chucky, but clearly something was missing on that set piece.
Seoin Kim just kind of ran through a group of players and ends up with a goal. Here we are underway in the second half. Michigan Stars in the white jerseys. Oakland in the black. As Michigan not necessarily has to get a result in this game, but a result would see them through for sure. On the other side, Oakland gets a win and they're through, but a loss for either side and they could still make it, but they're going to be rooting for New Amsterdam in that next game. We'll see what kind of tactical changes, if any, Michigan has made. Back into the middle and controlled by Oakland. This is Kyle Newell for Michigan. Down the side, intercepted. Kind of a lazy pass down that sideline. Now into the middle, Oakland looking to break down the sideline.
Yeah, I was sorry, Chucky, when the goalkeeper was yelling leave it, I'm like, I can see that from here, how much backspin that had on it. You better get to that ball before it bounces, and that collusion was massive as well before that.
A lot of space right here in the middle of the field and almost a gap between that back line and then the midfield. And well, you talked about getting somebody in there to try and...
Right, and you can see them bypass time. You know, early on, they actually were trying to play a little bit. You could see them not playing direct right off the bat, and they're resorting to that ball as Oakland pushes that third player forward in their press, right? They're really setting their line high to make sure. I think they want them to play that ball. They're going to deal with those second balls, win the first one, deal with the second one.
James Abraham trying to control it in the midfield. Back to Amu Mensah. Here's Joseph Adu. Bernardo coming deep to retrieve it. And now a turnover and a big opportunity here for Oakland. Adu trying to track him down. Oakland still an opportunity. Lobs it up and through the goalpost. Isn't going to count for anything in this one.
Yeah, I thought initially when he got that jersey tug, he might feel that tug and go down. He continues. Look at that, just slow, right? Just slow to play. He wants to cut him off here. He knows he has numbers. There's the number right there, and at the end, not a dangerous shot, but Michigan just a little bit slow, lazy on the ball. We've seen Oakland take advantage with many opportunities in various games with actions just like that.
Harish, who was almost in on net for Oakland. He's an Oakland, California native.
But you can see them just sending players high to make sure that that's the ball they choose.
Newell down the side looking for Tomas Bernardo. It'll be a throw for Kyle Newell from Hamilton, New Jersey.
It's a well-challenged tackle, well-timed challenge by that man.
Michigan's like this right wing early in this second half. Ooh. Oh, that hit a hand.
Ooh.
And Oakland
didn't call the first one, didn't call the second one.
I think Oakland maybe got away with one there. And that's a rule. And I saw it this morning when I was watching the Premier League. It is a rule that is just debated nonstop. The rules change all the time, and we take another look.
Let's just look. Oh, yeah. I mean, he slaps the ball pretty hard. I don't know how you don't, you know. It's tough. It doesn't necessarily change the outcome, right? It's tough, but did he hit the ball? I mean, yes.
Oakland maybe got away with one right there. That's how we'll leave it. Certainly a big moment in this game as Michigan will look back if they can't find an equalizer. Navarro.
Yeah, those balls into that pocket, they need to happen earlier. Otherwise, you end up playing this ball right there, which sometimes works out. But if you play a little bit quicker into the midfield, right, with players on the half turn, they can turn the field and look to combine forward. I think it's just taking it's just a step too slow.
It's like Nelson Blanco is into the game for the Oakland Roots. Looking to bring it inside. Almost a chance right there for Goni Bental. It's been better from Michigan. They've had more dangerous chances in this Oakland defensive third. It'll go as a foul against Amu Mensah on the header. Seo-In Kim on the wrong end of that challenge. Bernardo checking with the referee on that. Thought it was a clean challenge. What's the difference right now for Michigan? They've been on the attack a little bit more.
Right, I mean, not a lot's changed, obviously. I just think, you know, a little bit more opportunistic actions have fallen their way, right? So, and then getting into the final third, having a little bit more composure their way, but really it's been the same game plan thus far. I think they've tried to play maybe a little bit more, but it's been pretty direct.
Taken away and saved, but no one's home. David Abador is there for Oakland. Now a long ball towards Seo-In Kim. And he's won possession just outside the box, lays it off inside. Nice opportunity here for Oakland. Across, but nobody's home. Maybe a shot there would have been a better opportunity.
Well, he's done all the work, and he gets great position running inside the box. When you see that happen, there's got to be a winger, a midfielder to take a chance. That's a chance to ice this game away. There's only one body in the box, and you see that play coming from a mile away. Someone's got to run. And not me, Chucky, because that's why I played the goalkeeper position. I didn't like the run.
You like the game, but you're just like, that whole fitness thing.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Not at that level, at least.
Not at any level, let's be honest. Not at any level.
Are the goalies off to the side in training?
No, it's different. The fitness. I don't think field players can do goalkeeper fitness and vice versa. I know for me, it's just something that I can dive and get up 1,000 times and not be winded. But you get me on a track running 2 miles or on the field covering that much ground, it's not my thing.
9 years in the MLS, won the MLS Cup in 2008. Really not that far removed from your playing days. I think you could still be out there.
I have 5 good minutes in me, and I promise that's it. I wouldn't even call them good at this point. I have 5 minutes in me.
Michigan appealing, but nothing in that.
Yeah,
challenge.
you're going to hear a lot of screaming on any half chance like that.
Trying to wrap one around right there. Tarn Weir.
It's just too easy to break out. Had him isolated on the left side and just dropped off pressure.
Switching fields again. Amu Mensah. Adu back to his keeper, Mkaruva. Oakland's fine with this.
Right, and that's the ball that they're looking to pick off, right? Just waiting for that opportunity.
Theo and Kim looking for space. Nice turn right there in the midfield.
Chuck, the details in possession are so important. That poor pass back to the goalkeeper, that's time. That's time that allows the defense, the other team to get their defensive press going, right, and step their lines up. And those are little details that matter. Which side you play the goalkeeper there or the player down the sideline, right? Is it leading them on their right foot? Is it behind them? Do they have to take that half second to control the ball?
A great ball right there, headed down the sideline for Bernardo if he can run it down, and a nice job to knock that off Bernardo. I think that was Navarro tracking back defensively.
Yeah, really smart play there. Turn the goal kick.
Substitutes for both sides. Here's Matt Fondy, and we wondered, would he come in? Would we see McInerney or Fondy? Maybe both. It's Fondy first in for Seo-In Kim, the goal scorer.
Well, and I think if it's 1-0 Michigan, you'll see both of them. But Fondy, for me, is a little bit more active, right, defensively. So I think this is the sub I fully expected to see.
Oakland Roots substitution presented by Gig Car Share. For Michigan, Dakota Lobsiger. That substitution for Detroit City brought to you by Queenco Tool. He's in for Sebastian Dupre.
Fondy's already on the ball a couple times now, making an impact, holding the ball up for Oakland.
Michigan trying to clear. Yunshai loses it down in the corner. Oakland, great ball into the box opportunity. Oh, up top off the crossbar.
Just, it's kind of, the decision making is just a head scratcher there. I mean, you can't play out. You try and play up the line. You lose the ball instead of just kicking it out of bounds, and then you allow that to happen. I mean, just play the ball out of bounds and live to fight another day, right? Rather defend a throw-in deep in your zone than have something like that play through. It's just sloppy.
It's Ariel Mumba sliding it through to Johannes Harish. Really nice 1-2 from them, and Oakland kind of slaps back here after Michigan, maybe not dominated, but they've had more opportunity. They've been on the ball more in this second half than they were in the first. Oakland will be moving to USL Championship Division, the highest division in USL for the 2021 season. They'd love to go out with a bang and win this NISA Fall Tournament Championship.
Yeah, it'd definitely be a statement for that club and give them all the momentum they need heading up to the next level.
Yellow card shown. David Abador, Northbrook, Illinois.
You can see a high line being set at the 18. Christian Herrera is going to be protecting that in. But as the ball struck, look for that line to just drop into that PK spot. And following these runners, second balls, knockdowns going to be so important here.
What are you looking for as a keeper in this moment?
I think they're having two on the wall, but one needs to break off for that right there, which he does.
Here's the ball in, and knocked away for a throw-in. So Oakland handles it well, but not quite out of the woods here.
Yeah, I think they might have been better suited just to put the ball into the mix. Dangerous ball, hit low, whipped in, right behind that first player holding at the near post.
You talked about the details being important. A ball like that kind of sends it back to the keeper with the defender having to track way back and play it safe. Tornado lets it go out for a throw-in. Kyle Newell will throw it.
See right there, I don't think you have to play negative, but they end up another direct ball, but look at this.
Oh, wow, almost slid that pass in. Michigan would have had a good chance at an equalizer. Here's Newell. Has to go around and nothing doing. Nice defensive play by Tarn Weir. Tarn Weir, Oakland native, playing for his hometown team.
Yeah, I can attest, that's a really cool feeling to rep that hometown team. I was able to do it for Sporting for a year, and it's a memory I'll never forget.
Bernardo fighting for it on the ground and finally taken away. Michigan really pressuring here. Lobsiger, who came off the bench trying to make an impact, lays it back for Bernardo, who crosses it in, but not much on that cross. Nice job there by Matt Fondy, tracking back and helping on defense. Now Fondy a chance to run onto one. Really bounces off the turf here at Keyworth Stadium. Fondy gives him an option down the sideline. Cuts into the middle, lays it off for Mumba.
It's really great hold-up play from Oakland on two different occasions, really, and now they possess, right? They enjoy the ball a little bit, but it's really that hold-up play that springs Fondy on the right side, and they would just recycle the ball around.
To the keeper, Karuba. Won't be thanking his defenders too much for the service he's been given.
Well, actually, you know, I was watching his movement, and I think the player thought the goalkeeper was going to move centrally, right? And the goalkeeper moved centrally to give him a different angle, and he played behind him and had to recover, but no harm here.
Satrasegi lays it off for Newell. Back on that right wing, they liked it a lot. Now a ball into the box and headed wide for a goal kick.
Just like to see somebody go at the defender,
yeah.
Right? You're isolated. I think, you know, they have bodies in the box, but change the angle, get some momentum heading in, a cutback ball or a serve from in behind, rather than almost like a set piece can just give you something else to think about.
I'd love to give Bental and Tomas a chance. 3 goals between them in the tournament so far. A draw even for Michigan would see them through to the semifinal round.
Great early distribution there.
Nice job defensively, again by Abador.
Oy.
Foul against Lobsiger, and then he gets a little extra after the whistle.
Yeah, it's, once again, the ability to just hold up the ball and protect it, secure it for your team, and now you have a reset.
Oakland starting to settle into this second half a little bit and look a lot more comfortable with what they want to do than they did in maybe the first 10 minutes. And down the sideline. Oh, nice cutback, but the flag is up.
Yeah, there's really no excuse when you're playing wide and you can see the line. You know, you have to stay on side there, and it's a great switch to the point of the attack, but
Oakland looking to be aggressive right here, and that's Jack McInerney getting set to enter this game. Are you surprised at all by that move?
I'm not surprised by anything. No, absolutely not. I think they have some comfort on the ball. They found some rhythm, Oakland, and honestly, that's happened more times than not in this game for them, right? So that's exactly who you'd want coming into the game. Someone who can read that lazy pass, pick it off, a bad touch. Jack Mack comes in and can change the game with, you know, with one moment.
And it looks like Johnny Rodriguez is getting set to come off for Oakland, although a sub first for Michigan. Presented by Queen Co. Cameron Schneider enters the game. Played at Marshall University and East Tennessee State. Satrasegi comes off. Johnny Rodriguez off for Oakland. Jack McInerney on. McInerney, maybe the biggest name in this league, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got to be up there. You know, there's like you talked about, there's a lot of talent, but you know, Jack Max played a lot and played at a high level, and you know, he scored a ton of goals in Major League Soccer as well. So I think it's great that he's found a spot that with a club that's looking to, you know, really build. I think he might be a perfect fit for that.
Bental, frustration getting to him a little bit. We'll take a look why.
Yeah, he's just battling, right? Just they're both holding on to each other. You can see Bental with a handful of jersey as well, and he's trying to sell anything as well. Any half chance Michigan's gonna take.
Bental from Tel Aviv, Israel. Born in New York, raised in Israel, moved back to the United States at age 20. He played 3 years at Baker University.
That's right.
Baker goalkeepers, they got to be some of the best in the country, aren't they?
Yeah, we have 4 of them. All of them could play just about anywhere. I might say, you know, I'm a little bit biased, but no, we have a great group.
And they've got a great goalkeeper coach.
I don't know about that, but yeah, I'll take it. Take the compliment.
Be a throw in for Oakland. Some physical play here. 68th minute. Oakland trying to hold on. They would be the first team to punch their ticket to the semifinal.
Yeah, and you saw, you know, when Jack Mack plays, he mixes up, you know, where he roams around. He likes to drop deep, get some touches on the ball, build, as well as, you know, find that moment to get him behind as well. So I think he and Fonte have a really good partnership of working off of each other, who's checking in, right, who's receiving the ball deeper, who's running in behind.
Back to the keeper, Mkaruva. Michigan looking to build something here. Good ball out to Schneider, who just came on. Throw for Michigan. Harish thought he got that off Schneider's leg. Karuva just has to launch it down the field. Big bounce. And a little bit too strong right there for Bental. Here comes Oakland. McInerney lays it back. Weir for Gonzalez. They'll take their time. Abador back with Abador now. Gonzalez said, hey, I'll stand here for 20 minutes if I have to.
No, it's good patience from Oakland. They moved the ball quickly, just found some comfortable pockets to play into, and that's the ball that eventually, I think both teams are just waiting, biding their time for that one mistake, right, that they can step in front of. I think Oakland's almost scored a few goals from those type of mistakes at the back.
You mentioned it a few minutes ago, but we still just haven't seen that different look from Michigan on the attack. You talked about take somebody on and try to make something happen. We have not seen that yet. Now Oakland cleared away by Schneider, but they were on the attack again. They've got a throw on the far side.
I mean, you can see Oakland just really kind of stepping high. They want them to play that ball long, right?
Yep.
They're baiting them into it. Michigan has tried to play out a few times, but at the end of the day, it's been the same end result, and all you have to do is win that first ball and make sure you're secure on second balls, and you should see this one out.
Steven Yunshai, who is now kind of over on that left wing, has not been on the ball much in this second half, and we saw a couple times in the first where some of their best opportunities to cross it in were off of his foot, and we have not seen it much in the second half.
You pointed out that they've been attacking down the right flank. I think that's where maybe it's Bental's, his movement's gone, the distribution's gone that direction, but you're right, it hasn't been nearly as much down the left flank in this half.
Corner for Oakland. Dangerous ball punched away by Karuva. Nice job by the keeper to get rid of that one. Tarn Weir looking to line one up and blocked away by Schneider.
Yeah, really important there from Schneider. The sub comes on and makes an impact there. It's usually the second balls that gets cleared, that that touch and serve back into the box where you lose a runner. Those can be tough. Better to block the cross initially anyway.
Joe, right shoulder. No foul.
Fondy into the corner. Wanted a handball. Fondy trying to split the defenders, and it's launched into the stands.
When he's done his job, just get something there, right? Corner kick, throw in, maintain possession. He's done well to hold the ball up. He's made an impact since coming on, that's for sure.
Subs on the way for Oakland. Peter Pearson, number 12 there. Irwin will come off. Pearson on, the Oakland subs, presented by Gig Car Share. It's Niall Irwin. Angel Heredia in for Ariel Mumba.
We talk about just how important set pieces have been and will continue to be, and when you use these subs, knowing your role both offensively, defensively, so important. So something to keep an eye on as well.
Nelson Blanco.
Look at that high line. That's what they're baiting them into doing, right? That's the second, or probably actually the third or fourth time Christian Herrera has come out and dealt with the ball outside of his box, and I think, he does a great job, but I think you can kind of let that bounce in possibly and handle with your hands, but he's there, he's confident, heads it out.
I was about to ask you if that's something you would advise your goalkeepers that you train against, because he is way out there. Any mistake and there's a wide open net.
No, I mean, I can fully appreciate his positioning there and his, as you see this, I want my goalkeepers to play off their line and kind of help out and protect that back line, anything in behind. That's the game plan. He knows it. That's how Michigan is playing, right? They're playing very direct over the top. I think he's done a decent job, but there have been a few moments where you just, you know, like I said, one bad moment, anything opportunistic happens for Michigan, and he deals with the header, but there's been a few where I thought he could have just maybe let the ball kind of go back and pick it up with his hands.
Kyle Newell wears the captain's armband, and now he's got a yellow card to deal with the last 15 minutes of this game.
But no, I think his positioning has been pretty spot on.
Fondy heads it down. McInerney pressuring, and that's cleared for a throw-in. Jack McInerney talked about his time in the MLS, 8 years in the league. Scored 12 goals for the Philadelphia Union in 2013. Spent 5 years in Philly, 2 in Montreal, and then a year in Columbus, Portland, and with the LA Galaxy. So he's been around the block. He's played a lot of soccer. You talked about it. He's scored a lot of goals.
I'm trying to think if he's probably got one on me, I guarantee you, with Philly. I don't want to, I probably seen a psychiatrist or a psychologist that's really helped me get over that at this point. I can't remember. There's been so many goals scored against me. He's probably bagged one. But yeah, he's got a lot of experience, and like I said, he just is so opportunistic. He almost lulls you to sleep. You don't think he's doing much, working hard, but then he just has that first quick couple steps, picks off a ball, and he's in the goal.
Is there a goal you remember most giving up or saving? Is there one that stands out to you, or a couple in your career that you can think of?
This is, there's one on YouTube. I'm not really going to go there, but the player that Thierry Henry has caused me the most fits in my career.
You would not be the only one.
Right, but he thoroughly enjoyed playing against me, I'll say that.
I would think there's goalkeepers all over the world in retirement right now that are hoping they never see Thierry Henry again.
Yeah, after years of therapy, I'm good now. Sometimes I wake up screaming, but you know, my wife calms me down, reassures me everything's going to be fine.
Ooh, almost a dangerous clip. The ball kind of patted the two heads coming together, and now another Oakland player is down.
Yeah, I think there was more in this. I have to see a replay, but
it's David Abador who was on the wrong end of that. Herrera came screaming out of net.
Herrera had a pretty good view, and I mean, he doesn't extend, right? I mean, he's going up, he's challenging. I don't think it's as vicious. Sometimes you see it live and it's full speed, and then you hear people screaming bloody murder. You don't know what to expect. You got to take another look, and that didn't look like much to me.
Snyder waiting on that one. It'll be a throw for Michigan, who has to make something happen here in the final 12 minutes plus stoppage time.
It's creative distribution by the goalkeeper, but it's tough under pressure. You can't let the ball bounce there.
That'll be a free kick for Michigan, as there was a hand on top of Goni Bental to keep him from jumping. A good call by our referee, Carter Brochu. Newell to take the free kick. And they'll go down and they will try to make something happen here. With the bodies they've got and the size they have, Bental at 6'4", Tomas Bernato also listed at 6'4". A decent ball into the box, headed back across, and it finds its home, but maybe a flag is raised.
Wow. Yeah, this is going to be really tough. Tough pill to swallow here, but we talk about direct balls played into the box. These second balls he's knocked down, so it's great placement as you take a look. You can see the line start to drop, and then obviously, you know, yep, I think he may have been ahead of that line, and it's that second ball not following your runners, and you can see Christian Herrera keeping a high line there, really protecting. If anything's in the mix, he can come get it. And that's the one you have to follow your run, and you don't want to rely on the referee at the end of the day, but just offside.
Tough for Michigan. Thought they had their equalizer in the 80th.
Well, maybe now they can smell something coming, right? They build off that, get a little momentum.
Subs for Michigan, brought to you by Queen Co. Tool. James Pipe. Ypsilanti, Michigan coming in, and Patrick Sullivan. Tomas will come off.
Such a simple opportunity. Just getting caught the wrong side of the striker and allowing just an easy, simple ball from a throw-in of all things to cause you fits, as that ball shot just wide.
One of the late substitutes leave their mark on this game. A draw for Michigan would see them on. Oakland needs the win to guarantee a spot in the semifinal, but regardless of this result, neither of these two teams is out of it. Throw in for Michigan.
Ooh. Some of these challenges, you look, player put his head down low and that cleat comes up, and I'm waiting for something, but these games get really chippy, especially like you said, with under 10 to go here.
Yenshai earns a free kick on the far side, and another chance here. We've seen a couple of these. The last one ruled out for offside.
Yeah, you want to angle this again away from the big goalkeeper Herrera.
Just inside the 18-yard box, and it's headed on, but Herrera falls on it.
Yeah, this classic goalkeeper move. Catch it standing up, fall to the ground, give yourself a few seconds, but really what we talked about, framing the goal, it's harder to do from that distance, and the ball doesn't have as much of a chance to bounce from that distance, but framing the goal can cause trouble. It just takes one deflection to cause real fits for the goalkeeper.
It's really been all Michigan the last 10 minutes. They've had some chances, really forcing the issue right now, and they have to.
Yeah, you'd fully expect them to try and push this tempo and win the ball higher up the field and create those chances with their big bruisers up top.
Alongside Andy Greenebaum, I'm Chucky Kempf. Game 1 of 2 to finish up Group A tonight. Nate Bukaty, Jacob Peterson back tomorrow to finish up Group B and continue with the semifinals on Wednesday. From Keyworth Stadium, just north of downtown Detroit, a whistle and a free kick given in a dangerous spot here for Michigan.
Yeah, just a late challenge here. Another set piece opportunity, exactly what Michigan is looking for. I think when you scout this game, you know these moments are coming, right? You know that you're going to have to defend a ton of these. You hear Christian Herrera making sure his line holds as long as they can.
Like everyone's onside this time, but the ball just isn't there. Newell down the sideline looking for Schneider, who launches one across. Trying to bring it back in, and they do. A chance laid off just outside the box, and under it, sends it almost outside of Keyworth Stadium as we get a look at our Group A standings entering tonight's game. Michigan led the way. That goal differential with Oakland the same, but a result here for Oakland would see them into the top spot, and then Michigan would be wearing their New Amsterdam gear, hoping they could pull off a draw or a win over Detroit City. We'll have that game for you 8 Eastern coming up after this one. Contact in the middle of the field, free kick for Oakland. They'll take their time. 5.5 minutes plus stoppage time to play.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's not a cramp at this point, but
maybe another chance for Oakland here. Down the sideline, Tarn Weir. Oh, great slide by Schneider.
oh, it's a great entry pass into that final third, and just somewhat of a lazy layoff to the wing, but a good opportunity, good patience. Best way to see this game out is through possession. You don't want to, have to defend for your life for the last 5 minutes.
Schneider gets a piece of that one cleared away. Kind of a stalemate on this wing. Oakland not committing too much forward at this point in the game. No surprise either, but have been disciplined in their formation late in this one. Another long ball toward the box. Clipped up, and Herrera has it.
Ooh. I think he's okay as well, trust me. But he did, like you said, goalkeepers, we can get away with a few things. Brings that leg up tall, kind of showed some cleats, but kind of was almost inviting that challenge as well.
Time will tick away a little bit, but it all gets added at the end, right?
Yeah, it does, obviously, but I think by inviting that challenge, he made it taking something where you definitely don't want it. Yeah, nothing a trainer can do for you. I'm sorry. Just see, I don't know, clips him. I can't even explain. Yeah, we don't really need to paint this picture.
TV.
Right. Been there, fella, been there.
Well, it's ticked into the 88th minute. Michigan's time is fading right now. New Amsterdam has one result. They got the draw against the Michigan Stars. 2-2, so they can score a little bit. They'll have to give Michigan a result if they want a chance to move on. But not too good of a result, because that goal differential could end up switching. Free kick given to Oakland.
Yeah, sorry, Chucky. Every one of these ticky-tack fouls, right, they result in a good 20, 30 seconds being shed off the clock. So Michigan's got to be really careful how they press and go after, winning the ball higher up the field.
Chance Michigan trying to open things up. Here's Yunshai. Looks down the sideline, but nothing there. Kind of a miscommunication right there, but that's really One of Yunshai's first touches almost in the second half. He just has not been a part of this game.
Yeah, and, you know, trying to play with rhythm when you haven't done it, you know, for 89 minutes, it's tough, right? The expectation is that that ball's going to get played long, and then, you know, you're not expecting the player to overlap. Or in this case, he was, and the run didn't happen.
Another throw for Oakland. Referee was letting advantage be played, but eventually brings it back after Michigan had lost possession. So they've got a free kick just inside midfield. Could be one of the last chances of the game right here. Have to make something count. Again, thought they had their equalizer in the 80th minute on a similar setup to this, but an offside flag was raised.
Yeah, this from distance. I think Christian Herrera is going to look to maybe help his back if he can. It's angled away from him.
4 minutes of stoppage time brought to you by Queen Co. As Michigan looks to go quickly now.
Yeah, if that man could have just stayed onside, held up a little bit, but he had himself a goal. But yeah, he was a little bit ahead of the play there.
Into the box. A whistle. And it'll be an Oakland free kick right at the top of this, right at the top of the box for Herrera, and an injury here.
You know, one of the advantages you have with a guy like Herrera, as this ball's sent in, look how high he's playing, right? And you can see, yeah, just coming down on him. But see where that ball's angled. They have to angle it from a way less dangerous place at the top of the box, rather than put the ball into maybe a smaller goalkeeper that's not going to come for the ball. Yep. It may be more of a, you know, a question as to what's going to happen here. It's so much easier to defend that much higher up the box.
Herrera 6'7". It is not easy to find a spot.
Yeah, I've stood next to that human being. He's a massive individual. Really nice guy, though. Gentle giant, really, in a lot of ways.
And hoping to collect a clean sheet in the next few minutes. Most likely going to go past that 94 on the scoreboard after a little stoppage right there for another injury. Down the sideline, cleared back toward the middle of the field. Newell trying to cut inside, and it's a throw for Michigan. They've got to hustle to collect the ball and get things going. Oakland not going to help them on that front. Patrick Sullivan comes over for the throw.
Yeah, precious seconds ticking off as they get set for a longer throw here.
What do you throw into the box? And now what's the call going to be? A corner, or it is? It's a corner, and here it is, the opportunity of the game for Michigan. Yunshai will take the corner.
It's going to be an out-swinging ball. Very important, once again, to follow runners as this ball gets played in.
Here it is, low line drive, and cleared. McInerney pressuring. Yunshai, maybe another chance to send one in. Clips it back, Newell. Right to Herrera on the line.
Yeah, that was a great ball back into that space on the right side, perfectly weighted. At the end of the day, you have to do better with this serve. I mean, it's whipped in with the right height, right pace, but it's right at Herrera.
Maybe another 45 seconds to a minute here for Michigan. Oh, now Oakland with an opportunity. Not a great touch, though, and gives it up. They had a chance right there with Fondy and McInerney up in front. Oakland back in possession. And they could cap it right here.
I think a bit casual there from McInerney.
That'll be a corner for Oakland.
But it'll do its job, right?
The seconds will kick away, and most likely this corner will be the last sequence of the game. Fondy over to the corner as they'll just try to hold this up. Oh, Fondy around two defenders. Almost a really cheeky.
I mean, it really
right
is
there.
brilliant because you're expecting him to just try and win it and play it off somebody, but it's really smart.
Karuba one last time down the field. Cleared back toward midfield. Oh, great job to win it. Here come the Roots. Flag stays down. Karuba way outside the box. And a free kick is going to be given. What do you think of that one, Mr. Goalkeeper?
I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see if he did any tugging there. But yeah, I was just about to say on the corner kick, it really was a brilliant bit of individual idea by Fondy. But at the end of the day, it allows the counterattack. So maybe, you know, all this wouldn't have happened if you would have just possibly held the ball. But if it works, you score a goal, you're saying that's brilliant, right? But yeah, that man, knowing he has to play off his line and try and get one last gasp, just gets caught.
Shown a yellow card. McInerney has it just outside the box down to the corner. Oakland is on to the semifinal, the first team to punch their ticket in the NISA Fall Tournament Championship semifinal. Seo In Kim, our man of the match. The goal early, he was all over the ball, really dominated the first half for Oakland and set the tone.
Yeah, just another brilliant run in front. Once again, the four players at that near post, no one's in deeper. It's really, can't really explain that, but great opportunity there for that man. He was busy early.
Seo In Kim, our man of the match. We'll be back with our final stats from Keyworth Stadium as the Oakland Roots have punched their ticket to the semifinals. Back in Hamtramck, Michigan at Keyworth Stadium, the NISA Fall Tournament Championship on BN Sports, as the Oakland Roots and Seo In Kim, our man of the match, send themselves through to the semifinals, the first team to punch their ticket to the semis that start on Wednesday night. Nate Bucati and Jacob Peterson will have the call the rest of the way as we look at our stats and standings updated in just a moment. Seo In Kim comes off at halftime, but made a huge impact early on. We didn't see him in the first couple games of the tournament, but he may have been the difference that changed the standings up for us in Group A and sent the Oakland Roots to the top of the table. 6 points, 2 wins. They took the loss to Detroit City, but they end up at the top with the +3 goal differential, the 6 points, and they're into the semifinals. And now Michigan hopes that New Amsterdam can win, but not win too big. But they do have a chance. Everyone has a chance into the semis.
Yeah, we talk about leaving it in your hands, right? You wanted it to be in your hands, and now they've got to play the waiting game.
Detroit and New Amsterdam, our final game of Group A to decide the second spot in the semifinals. We take a look at our final stats. Brought to you by Queen Co. Tool. Oakland, 11 shots, 5 of them on goal. Didn't have quite the attack in the second half, but did just enough in possession to hold off Michigan, who thought they had the equalizer. 5 shots, 3 of them on net. Couple corners, they thought they had the equalizer, but that second offside down there at the bottom is the difference, as that goal was called off and they were not able to grab it. So now, like you said, Andy, they wait. We will see you back here in about 55 minutes, 8 Eastern, the start time for the second game of the night between Detroit City and New Amsterdam. Appreciate you joining us for the NISA Fall Tournament Championship. For our producer and director, Kevin Shank, my partner, Andy Greenebaum, I'm Chucky Kemp, saying so long from Keyworth Stadium. The Oakland Roots win it